Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I got a package to open. This is from Renegade EDC, which is exciting for me because I really like Renegade EDC products. I have a number of his hanks, which you've seen before on the channel. I have his beard balm, which you saw the unboxing of, and I actually happen to not have it in today. That's it's funny timing, but it's really good beard balm. I've been using it a lot, and yeah, Chris over at Renegade EDC has become a buddy. We'll be having him on my podcast soon. He has his own podcast, and we're actually working on probably doing a collaboration Hank. I don't know if that's... I was supposed to share that already, but it's in the works. I think that's going to be happening, so there will be a Bearded Gear Hank from Renegade EDC Hanks, which should be really cool. They're my favorite Hanks, and really the only Hanks that I feel connected to. So this is a new product for Chris. He has started recently diving into leatherworking, and he's been making wallets and coin slips and belts and these. So this is a strop, which I have a strop somewhere, and I just can't find it. It's just a small leather strip one. It's not on a piece of wood or anything. And lately I've been doing a couple of more sharpenings than usual, and so just trying to get better at my KME and practice on it, and plus I enjoy the act of sharpening, and I wanted a new strop. And so in the group chat that I'm in with Chris and a few other guys the other day, he was showing off some of the strops that he was working on, and then I was like, let me know when they go live. And when they went live on the site, I just went ahead and purchased one. So I'll link down below to the Renegade EDC site, and then also to his Instagram, because he's got a great Instagram. Also, what is up with this dude in crushing it on packaging? The whole thing was wrapped in this bubble wrap, and then he wrapped it like a gift in paper and used this cool string to wrap around that, and then sealed the string with wax with his stamp on it. How nuts is that? Yeah, I feel bad ruining this wrapping job. Using the new Warney PM2 that I just unboxed from Cutlery Shop to unbox this. It's a chain reaction going on. Alright, let me see. I'm going to rip this end. I guess I'm not going to keep this wrapping paper anyways. I just feel bad. I put all that work into it. Alright. Oh sweet, he already put compound on it too. So, this is my new strop. As you can see, he put it on a board. This is a nice thick board too, and I'm sure he did this woodwork custom as well. He's also been jumping into doing some laser engraving, so you've got his logo there, laser engraved onto the wood, and yeah, it's already impregnated, if you will, with some green compound, which is exactly what I would have put on it anyways, so that's great. And yeah, I'm excited to start using this. One thing about a strop too is, I've found on strops I've had in the past, the more you use them and kind of wear them in and put your strokes into them, that's what she said, the better that they get over time. And yeah, I'm excited to start making this mine and using it as part of my sharpening setup as kind of a final step to finish the process. And yeah, stropping is also one of those things too where part of why I've really liked having a strop, and where the reason why I first ever got one, was because I didn't have a very good sharpening system, and I wanted to make it longer between sharpenings. It's kind of a step of maintenance that you can do. So a lot of people will say things like it's about a certain steel. They say it's easy to strop it back to sharp. And with just a quick strop, you're right back to shaving sharp. People will say things like that, right? And it can be true of certain steels and certain edges, and certain steels, I guess, are easier to get a more definitive result on in stropping, just from what I've found. But a lot of my kind of user knives for a long time, to keep myself from needing to sharpen them, especially when I was pretty inadequate at sharpening and only had a Lansky that I wasn't good on, and now that I've got the KME, I've gotten more comfortable with it. But it was a great way, if I used my knife hard and noticed the edge just wasn't quite what it was before, to just take it to the strop and strop it back to where it was. Now, when you've gotten too far away from sharp, then throwing it on a strop isn't gonna do to the edge what you really need to do if an actual sharpening is needed. But when you're kind of in that sweet spot of like, you just cut up a bunch of cardboard and your edge isn't quite as poppy as it was before, then a lot of the time using a strop real quick can get you right back there. So yeah, this will be for both purposes for me. I'll use this to keep things sharp, and then I'll also use it as part of my sharpening process as kind of a final step. And I know a lot of people even have multiple strops with different compounds on them and different types of leather, and maybe that'll be something I'll get into eventually. That's still above my head, but I get it. I think people who are chasing like really like ultimate mirrored edges and they're into it, they'll use a progression of strops after using a progression of stones. Or sometimes I think, I don't know, I'm not a pro sharpener, but I want to say people sometimes even use them as part of the like progression within the stones. They're using a strop to deburr and stuff, and again, that's over my head, but this is really, really nice. It smells good. I don't know off the top of my head because I didn't care to dig into it. I just trust that Chris knows what he's doing. I don't know exactly what type of wood this is. Is it cherry? I don't know. It's like purplish. It's mahogany. It's not mahogany, but it sounds like Ron Burgundy when you say your apartment smells of rich mahogany. I don't know what kind of leather this is. I'd assume it's cow. I know a lot of people on strops use kangaroo leather, though. I don't know what he's using, but I know it's green compound and that it is fused to this bat in a pretty cool way. It's very seamless, the way that this meets up all the way around the edge. Very smooth. This is like a pretty simple shape, but all the edges are knocked down on this plank, and he even kind of rounded this section extra where you hold on to it a little bit. I also think it's nice that it's this width. I don't know, is this like 2 inches wide? Probably. And then I think it's like 10 or 12 in length. But for a lot of blades, if it's too narrow, it can be a little bit wobbly trying to like find your spot on it. But if it's too wide also, you can feel like you don't have the control you want to have. So I think this will be pretty good on width. If you look at it, this is a 3.5 inch blade. Sharpened edge on it is, I don't know, 3.25 maybe. So yeah, this is a pretty good width, I think, for most of the knives that I'll need to use it for. Anyway, this is just cool. It's just a new thing for me, and it's knife and EDC related, so I figured I'd show it off. Plus, Chris is a buddy. As I mentioned, we've got that project kind of in the works, and I plan to have him on my podcast once I have something to show about that. I think timing will be right on that. But if you haven't checked out his podcast, I'll make sure I link that below as well. And he's on YouTube now. He's doing a video version of his podcast, and he's been doing some reviews and stuff. So Chris, Renegade EDC, has become a buddy. And yeah, if you haven't checked him out, please do. He's a great dude, and he makes phenomenal stuff. We joke with him all the time that he's a cyborg because he works a demanding full-time job that he's driven and like persistent about. I don't know if that's the way to describe it. He's intense about how he handles his job. He's on top of it. And then he has his Hank business. Now he's making Beard Balm. Now he's making leather stuff, and he's crushing it. Like his products are really great. His turnaround times are quick. We don't know how he does it. And now that he's also doing a podcast and uploading videos on top of it all with a kid and a wife, I tip my hat to you, good sir. That's impressive. So anyway, this is my newest Renegade EDC product. All of his links that I can think of will be linked down below. And yeah, appreciate it, buddy. I did buy this from him. This wasn't thrown at me for review. I'm not shilling for no reason. I purchased this fair and square. So I always want to say that as well. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.